At this time, Trustee Steinhauser, will you please convene the Committee on Collective Bargaining?
Thank you, Chair Campbell. Will the Committee on Collective Bargaining please come to order? It is now time for the committee to consider today's consent agenda. Does any committee member wish to remove any item for separate discussion?
Chair, I believe that Mariana wanted to discuss something.
Yeah, since I'm not part of the committee, I wasn't sure if I'm allowed to, but I just have a couple of questions on item number 2, but I'm not sure if I'm able to do that.
Yeah, I will pull it for you so that we can discuss it and you can ask your questions.
Okay. The item's been pulled, so it's been requested that item 2 entitled the adoption of the initial proposal for the successive collective bargaining unit, Unit 11, United Auto Workers Local 4123, which is an action item, be removed for the consent agenda for separate discussion. Evelyn, would you please entertain that discussion?
You're muted, Evelyn.
Would help. So thank you, Chair Steinhauser. There's one action item on the agenda today. Action item number 2 is the adoption of initial proposals for a successor collective bargaining agreement between the California State University and Bargaining Unit 11, United Auto Workers Local 4123. These proposals open up our collective bargaining agreement, at which time then we wind up sitting at the table and meet and confer over terms and agreements of the collective bargaining agreement. Chair Steinhauser, that concludes my presentation.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Sorry. Thank you, Vice Chancellor Nazario, for your presentation. The adoption of the initial proposals for a successor collective bargaining agreement with Unit 11 United Workers Local 4123 is an action item before the Committee on Collective Bargaining. May I have a motion from a committee member to approve this item?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, is there any objection to approval?
I have a question by Trustee King.
Oh, I'm sorry, but
Okay.
okay. She's not a committee member, Adam.
That's fine. She can ask questions.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Marianne.
Perfect, thank you. Thank you, Vice Chancellor Nazario. I was just wondering what the timeline looks like and then kind of next steps.
So if I'm not mistaken, the this bargaining agreement actually expires in September.
Mm-hmm.
So prior to then, we do start having meetings and we bring articles to the table that we would want to discuss. Both parties do that. And of course, we have to coordinate timing for both of us, open schedules to meet. So it can happen quickly or it can happen longer, depending on if we agree or disagree on items and then eventually come to a mutual agreement.
Okay, and then the document at the end of the agenda that in the title it says demands the bargaining unit and then the demands, that's pretty much what's been proposed to your office, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. That's it.
Very welcome.
Any other questions, discussion? We do have a motion and we do have a second. If there are no other objections, the consent agenda is approved. Chair Campbell, this concludes the business of the Committee on Collective Bargaining.
Thank you, Trustee Steinhauser.